I'm about to share the one secret about fasting that took me 3 years to figure out. And it's probably not what you think. Stick around until the end because this single discovery transformed my relationship with weight loss forever. But first, let me tell you about the night I cried in my kitchen at 2 a.m. holding a bag of chips, convinced I was destined to fail at weight management for the rest of my life. That was 2 years ago. Today, I'm 45 pounds lighter, and more importantly, I've kept it off. Here's how fasting became my game changer, and why the secret I discovered might just change your life too. Let me paint you a picture. 3 years ago, I was stuck in what I call the diet hamster wheel. You know the one: lose 20 pounds, gain back 25. Try keto, feel amazing for 6 weeks, then crash and burn with a pizza binge that would make a college student proud. I had tried everything: calorie-counting apps that made me obsess over every grape, meal prep Sundays that turned my kitchen into a battlefield, Weight Watchers meetings where I smiled and nodded while secretly planning my next cheat meal. The worst part? I knew what to do. Eat less, move more, right? But knowing and doing are two completely different universes. Then came that night in my kitchen. I'd just finished what I told myself was one small bowl of ice cream, which somehow became the entire pint. I looked at my reflection in the microwave door and didn't recognize the person staring back. That's when I realized something had to fundamentally change. The next morning, I stumbled across an article about intermittent fasting. Not another diet, a completely different approach to when I ate, not just what I ate. Little did I know, this would lead me to discover the secret that I'm going to share with you at the end of this video. I started simple: 16/8 intermittent fasting. Eating window from noon to 8 p.m., fasting from 8 p.m. to noon the next day. The first week was brutal. I'm not going to lie to you. I felt like a grumpy toddler who missed nap time. But something weird happened in week 2. I stopped thinking about food every 5 minutes. My afternoon energy crashes disappeared. And for the first time in years, I felt in control. By month 3, I'd lost 18 pounds without counting a single calorie. But here's what really blew my mind. I wasn't hungry all the time anymore. That constant background noise of what's my next meal just quieted down. Now I was curious. What was actually happening in my body? So I dove into the research, and what I found was fascinating. When you fast, your body goes through some pretty incredible changes. After about 12 hours without food, your insulin levels drop, and your body switches from burning glucose to burning stored fat. It's like flipping a metabolic switch. But here's where it gets interesting. Studies show that intermittent fasting doesn't just help with weight loss. It actually changes how your body responds to food. Research from Johns Hopkins found that fasting can increase your metabolic rate by up to 14%. Your body also starts producing more human growth hormone. We're talking increases of up to 500%. This helps preserve muscle mass while you're losing fat. And here's my favorite part. Fasting triggers autophagy, which is basically your body's cellular cleanup crew. It's like Marie Kondo for your cells, getting rid of damaged proteins and organelles. But you know what? All that science is nice. But what really mattered to me was how I felt. For the first time in my adult life, I felt like I had a sustainable relationship with food. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. This sounds too good to be true, or I could never skip breakfast, or won't I just binge when I finally eat? Trust me, I had all these thoughts too. I was convinced I'd turn into a hangry monster who'd eat everything in sight during my eating window. There were definitely moments I wanted to quit. Day 4, I stood in front of my coffee maker at 7 a.m., practically in tears because I couldn't add cream to my coffee. Week 3, I almost broke my fast early because my coworker brought donuts to a meeting. But here's what I learned, and what the research backs up. Your body adapts faster than you think. Within 2 weeks, ghrelin, your hunger hormone, starts to shift. Your stomach literally learns new hunger cues. And it works. Study after study shows that intermittent fasting is as effective as traditional calorie restriction for weight loss, but with better adherence rates. Translation? People actually stick with it. I'm living proof. 2 years later, I'm not just maintaining my weight loss. I'm still losing weight when I want to. And more importantly, I feel in control of my choices around food. All right, you've been patient. You've stuck with me through my journey, through the science, through my kitchen breakdowns. Now it's time for the secret that changed everything for me. The secret isn't about which fasting method to choose. It's not about the perfect eating window or whether you can have coffee during your fast. The secret is this. Fasting taught me the difference between being hungry and being bored, emotional, or habitual with food. For the first time in my life, I experienced true physical hunger and realized how rarely I had actually felt it before. Most of what I thought was hunger was just everything else. Stress eating, boredom eating, social eating. It's noon, so I should eat eating. When you fast, you're forced to sit with those feelings without immediately reaching for food. You start to recognize the difference between your stomach growling and your mind wanting comfort. You realize that most cravings pass in about 20 minutes if you just wait. This awareness doesn't disappear when you're eating. During my eating windows, I started asking myself, am I physically hungry or am I eating for another reason? That simple question changed everything. The real magic of fasting isn't just the weight loss, though losing 45 pounds and keeping it off feels pretty magical. The real magic is rediscovering your body's natural hunger and fullness cues that diet culture spent years teaching you to ignore. If you're tired of the diet hamster wheel, if you're ready to try something that's not about restriction but about awareness, maybe it's time to consider fasting. Start small. Even a 12-hour eating window can begin to shift your relationship with food. If this resonated with you, hit that like button and let me know in the comments. What's one thing you learned today? And if you want more content about sustainable weight management and building a healthy relationship with food, make sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. Remember that person crying in their kitchen at 2 a.m.? They're still part of my story, but now they're just one chapter, not the whole book. Your next chapter starts whenever you're ready to write it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.